Silliman. Start over. Councilmember Tobin. Here. Councilmember Silliman.
Here.
Councilmember Pinello.
Here.
Councilmember Lane.
Here.
Councilmember Conlon is absent. Councilmember Carpenter is absent. Councilmember Beckwith.
Present.
Councilmember Michaels is absent.
All rise, it's the flag, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's an interesting. Especially. Yeah, it's just.
Okay. We have some recognitions to start off with, so we'll start off with Matt Wedgie. Is he here? Okay. We're gonna stand up so we can just look at you and get a little bit of praise here. So Matt Wedgie started April 1st, 1996. His dedication, we appreciate your dedication and commitment to excellence and outstanding performance to ensure that our delivery of safe, high quality drinking water to our community. So 30 years of continued service is making and tasting different every day. So we appreciate that's a high impact job and highly appreciated. And we're just so excited to have you here. 30 years, you know, I don't think you're, 30 yet. You look good, you help the best of the time, and we appreciate it. I don't know what we do without you. So we don't want that time to let go and be missed. So we just want to take a second to recognize it. If you want to shake your hand again.
James Matt.
Nobody's ever been over there to realize what goes on over there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Take a visit. It's pretty complicated over there.
Thanks to his wife for her commitment and letting him go out in the middle of the night and all the other issues he's had to deal with. So thank you. We appreciate it. We have a little story to tell. I think Chief, maybe you can come up with tell a little story of the next recognition of the firefighters and the very heroic recognitions that should be recognized to these firefighters.
Thank you, Mayor. On February 26, 2026, at approximately 7:30 p.m., the Cortland Fire Department was dispatched to a private residence in the 4th Ward for an elderly man not breathing. Members of the B shift arrived within 3 minutes and found an elderly male not breathing and with no pulse. Resuscitative measures, including CPR and the use of an AED, commenced immediately. 2 shocks were delivered by the AED. The patient was transferred to an ambulance where advanced care was initiated. Pulses returned and the patient was taken to the hospital for a higher level of care. The quick and effective resuscitation efforts performed by all the members on the scene allowed for this gentleman to have a full recovery and return home within 10 days with no deficits or long-lasting medical issues. Patient's doctor, cardiologist, and other medical experts indicated that quick and efficient CPR saved his life. Simply put, all the members that were on the scene utilized their training, their equipment, and medical knowledge to provide for a positive outcome. It is my honor to introduce to you tonight the gentleman who was alive because of the efforts of your fire department, Mr. Charles Castro. I'd like to make note of the members that were on the call that day: Captain Jim Zelsnak, Captain Will Fox, firefighter Ben Dodge, firefighter Mitch Gosser, firefighter Vincent Reed, firefighter Andrew Niver, and Deputy Chief Reynolds. Wait for him up here, Mayor.
Scary. Yeah.
I'll just conclude very quickly. This is a testament to the support this council and mayor give to the fire department, what we do. You don't know when, you don't know where, but it's obvious for Mr. Castellane, it all fell together good. And he did walk up the stairs, so I give him a point for that. Again, thank you for everything you do for this department, and what we try to do and do for the community. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
No. Appreciate these guys. And I always say my wife. Also my wife. She is bedridden, she couldn't do anything. Hey, these guys saved me. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Mr. Castellane, thank you for coming and sharing that with us. They love to see this side of the story for sure.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody and everything you do. Thank you. Proclamations declaring April as Fair Housing Month. Have the handing in.
Resolved, I'll read the whole thing. Declaring April as Fair Housing Month in the city of Portland. Whereas in accordance with Title 8 Fair Housing Policy of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988, and whereas the month of April 2026 is it not?
I can't.
I don't think they're working.
Might be well.
There you go. There.
Whereas in accordance with Title 8 Fair Housing Policy of the Civil Rights Act of 1968 and the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988, and whereas the month of April 2026 has been designated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Office of Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity as Fair Housing Month, now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Cortland hereby declares and proclaims April as Fair Housing Month in the City of Cortland, New York.
All right, thank you. Well, obviously, it's an important item as Earth Day and as Arbor Day is as well, and we're excited to recognize that, take the time to recognize it this month. Okay, Earth Day.
Proclamation number 2, declaring April 22nd as Earth Day in the City of Cortland. Whereas the City of Cortland is committed to protecting and preserving its natural resources and recognizes the important role its citizens play in this endeavor. And whereas Earth Day is an opportunity to come together with the rest of the world's citizens to celebrate and join the efforts of people who strive to improve the environment for ourselves and future generations. And whereas Earth Day reminds us all to be good stewards of our natural resources by which we help build a stronger economy, sustainable environment, and a healthier future. Now therefore be it resolved that Scott Steve, Mayor of the City of Cortland, does hereby proclaim April 22nd, 2026, Earth Day in the City of Cortland, and urges all citizens to celebrate the day and be attentive every day to preserving our natural resources by participating in events to reduce consumption and waste, encourage recycling, utilize renewable resources, eliminate pollution, and conserve water, land, and energy.
Thank you. And last is Arbor Day.
Declaring April 24th as Arbor Day in the city of Cortland. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed by the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heat and cooling loss, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. Whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economy, the economic vitality of business areas and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now therefore be it resolved that Scott Steve, Mayor of the City of Portland, does hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the City of Portland, and urges all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And be it further resolved that all citizens are urged to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations.
All right, thank you. I think we'll have to name this Mike Dexter Day as soon, so, right, Mike? So, we appreciate that. There are efforts that everybody does, especially those tied to our local community. Public comments, Dr. Poulin?
Hi, everybody. I have some nice ideas to share with you today. I hope that you agree with me. As you know, the nighttime warming space, the only place we have in Cortland County for that purpose ends this month. And then we go from May through October with no nighttime warming space. And so our citizens who have no homes have to go from place to place throughout the night. What I was thinking is that we did have a porta potty to the right of the firehouse last fall. And I was wondering if we could do that again, especially during this time period when many places are saying no public restrooms. And especially at night, there's no place to go. Some you can, even if you don't want to, there are some taverns and things that are open till 2 o'clock in the morning, but that's it for our unhoused people. In order to do that, you might want to approach some of the churches in the area, so maybe they would want to contribute to that. Also, I noticed that there are 4 places that are donations given to on today's agenda. Last month, there was one to the Youth Bureau. I wonder if we could put a site to donate on the City of Cortland website so that anybody who wanted to donate, and we could give some suggestions, and I hope that you would include the unhoused in those suggestions. Also, there's a problem with water. The park's water fountain, you remember them from your youth, were closed because of COVID. And now the Youth Bureau has approached and met with them to talk about having them again for our 6. There's only 6 parts, and especially if we could include the courthouse part. A lot of people going to the courthouse back and forth might want something to drink. And I'm told that when I spoke to the head of the water department, I guess Matt left, that the infrastructure is there under the ground. Even a fire hydrant is there. And he said it would not be very difficult to do that. You've seen in cemeteries that they have spigots that you could fill your water bottles with. And in Binghamton, they've started a program called Violence, that they have spigots around the city, so anybody could get water. All I'm asking is that the courthouse part be included in those 6 parks that are under discussion. Also, in many cities, they're starting to find vacant parking lots and then establishing a place where the unhoused from May till October especially, and then all practically every night last year in the summer, there was rain. It was wonderful for us during the day, but it was very hard on people who have to live outside. And so Las Vegas, Los Angeles, all kinds of cities are doing this. And I think if we have so many vacant parking lots that one can see, that it would be really nice if we could consider doing that. Catholic Charities gave out tents and sleeping bags recently. So they got a grant especially for this, so maybe we could join with them in another grant.
You pass it down around to.
What did I do?
Could you pass that around to extension?
I will be happy to.
Thank you.
I had lots more to say, but
Next time,
Yeah.
okay?
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like your bell.
Amanda Axe.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say something that I found, we used to be able to get, through, I believe it was Seward was the congressperson back in 2018. I found an article that for at least 3 years, ending in 2018, Portland got $200,000 of SUNY impact aid through the state to help offset some of the costs that associated with hosting a non-for-profit institution. Since our police and fire departments do have to support that institution, but legally aren't allowed to, be getting extra money for it because they are tax exempt. It seems like something we should be looking into. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dexter.
Working?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. He's there.
Online.
Okay. It's very appropriate. My name's Mike Dexter. Been a city resident my whole life. I just retired from the Landscape and Design Commission after 25 years and 20 years as chairman. It's very appropriate that Mr. Jewett had read the proclamation for Arbor Day. We basically are a Tree City USA over the last 19 years. That happened under my watch and the other members of my commission over the last 20 years. There are certain criteria that you have to meet to be a Tree City USA, and we've met those every year for the last 18 years. It's something that my commission is proud of and I'm extremely proud of. If you look up, there aren't a whole lot of other Tree City USAs in Cortland County. It's something that we took very, very seriously when we were planting trees. There's also a qualification that you have to maintain, and you have to spend $2 per capita each person. So each year we had to come up with $40,000 that were either planted trees, tree removals, which is also through National Grid and the city who did a lot of that work. But you have to come up with so much money spent every year to qualify to be a Tree City USA. You may have noticed the Tree City USA flag flies at the waterworks where I used to work, because it used to fly over here, but for whatever reason, it was no longer flying at City Hall, so it now flies at the waterworks. The main reason I'm here tonight is, and I was here a few weeks ago, because of a tree that was taken down in the city. I've just recently received my notification of a routine tree maintenance in my neighborhood. I will do this quickly. I hope I won't last as long as I did last time. Dear customer, as a recognized National Arbor Day Foundation Tree Line USA Utility Award winner since 2000, National Grid strives to provide safe, reliable energy to our more than 1.5 million customers throughout our New York service territory. In order to maintain safe and reliable energy services to our customers, we will be in your area on or about the start date noted above, and will continue for the duration noted with our cycle tree vegetation management program. This was dated April 6th. I received it, I think, the day after that somebody told me they were on my street because I wasn't home. So I got a little bit late, and I also
talked to other people on my street. They also got the letter. I happen to be on the other side of the street where there are no wires. There are pretty few trees that may lean over the other side, but I would think that with all the technology that they have today with Googling, that they ought to be able to know where the wires on, which side of the streets they're on before they spend money to everybody on the off side of the street. There are a couple trees that may lean over the other side. For the most part, my side of the street will not need any trimming, hopefully. Our programs provide that diseased and or weakened trees, together with those that have been planted or allowed to grow in hazardous locations and that they have the potential to contribute to power outages, will be pruned, or in some cases may include their removal if they pose as a severe threat. I underline that, to our facilities. This tree that I brought to your attention a couple weeks ago at 134 Central Ave was nowhere near a severe threat to their power lines. When you see a tree that's in the lower power lines, there are cable TVs, there are cable TVs, telephone lines, anything else, but the primary lines are the lines that travel across the top of the power lines. They're 45 feet high, most of them. This tree was no severe threat to those power lines. This is the picture 2 years ago. This was a tree that we planted with the approval of National Grid, who gives us $50 back for every tree that they find appropriate to plant underneath their power lines. This tree, we got $50 back for this tree, and National Grid came and cut it down because they were cutting down other trees in the area. And as I said last time, I hope this doesn't happen again to a tree that we and myself planted in this city. We planted over 700, 800 trees. This tree was no severe threat. They saw the other trees coming down, and I can only guess that they cut this one down because they were going down the street.
Thank you.
One other thing, the work will be performed by qualified contractors noted as crews. I hope that they have a certified arborist somewhere nearby so that they can see the trees that they cut down. This tree, if anything else, all it needed was a little clipping on the top. And I can tell you that there's 2 other trees in the area that they did not cut down. There's no branches on or no leaves on them right now. But this tree was just, when you do something with your hands, you plant something and you see it coming down for no good reason. I hope it never happens to any of you or any of your trees that are in your house or by your house. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Mr. Chu?
Well, last Saturday, I went to the Franklin Street yard waste facility and found it blocked off. And I thought, oh, they better get that fixed before, spring gets into full swing and people have a lot of yard waste. But then I saw it was nicely covered with a lot of like mulch, I think, and they had taken out the concrete bunkers that had been there before. I thought, oh, maybe they're redesigning it. So just in case that's true, I wanted to put in a request that we consider doing food waste collection there. Geneva, which is a smaller city, does that, pretty successfully. It would take a covered shelter there to collect it. And like we've had in the past, we would probably need somebody there to oversee the collection. Either move it around and make sure people don't throw construction debris and plastic there. But it has the possibility of being a moneymaker. Food waste is about 1/5 to 1/4 of our municipal waste. That would be savings from what's going into the landfill at $100 a ton roughly. And if we compost it, as we could, and we can get help with that, it would sell for $50 a cubic yard. So, that would probably pay for the person maintaining the yard waste facility and also the skid steer or something like that to push the yard waste and food waste around. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to speak in the public comments? Okay. Chuck will go to finance update. The full finance report will be the next meeting, but good update.
I'll just do a quick update here. I sent everybody out a report hopefully last night on where we stood for the 25 fiscal year. As I stated, it's not final. There's still a lot more things that have to be scrubbed on it to get it to be final. I am hopeful that those are the worst numbers that you're gonna see. Hopefully they get better from there, from different things that I have. But that is where we stand as of last night. As I stated, I do know there's some larger, revenue items that we have to pick up in, the sewer fund from accruals, things that we did this year that need to go back to last year. So that's in the works. I did get approval from New York State on our sewer exclusion, which is one of the requirements of the WAFIA loan. That is gonna be advertised in Friday's paper. Once we get everything back from there, from the Cortland Standard, we can send it up to the state to finalize that and send it to the people at the WAFIA loan, that's part of the requirement. The WAFIA loan itself, the last piece holding that up is the 2024 audit. As of tonight, it's not finished. I don't have a draft yet. We are still working diligently on it, myself and the staff down there. When I say diligently, that's our only focus right now is getting that completed. So we can get the WAFIA loan. If the deadline to do the WAFIA loan and pay off the loan in the May borrowing is tomorrow. That's not gonna happen. Okay, but I've worked with our bond people and we're gonna do the WAFIA loan as a separate band that is callable at any time. So that it's not gonna be an issue. It's gonna cost us a little bit more, but it's still something that we can get completed.
Do you have an idea how close we are to finishing the audit?
Katie, I wish I could give you a definite answer on that. Every day, I hope we're getting closer. Before I came up here, we found some things that get us closer,
Mhm.
okay, to where we're not gonna have we'll call it an adversarial write-up because we can't document stuff.
Mhm.
I think we're well within that range now.
Okay.
But it's a matter of when do we stop, keep trying to figure out the problems that we have out there and fixing them.
Mhm.
And every day we find things that we need to correct. Like today, we found stuff going back to 22. So I think we're getting close to it. Where the auditors will be, I won't say happy, but we'll give them numbers that they feel comfortable reporting on.
Mhm. Okay.
As soon as we do get that, the next step is to have them write up the audit as a completed audit and come to the council and talk to you guys.
It's not page.
I think that's all I have here for right now, and I'll give you 26's data at the next meeting where we stand on that, and an update on 25 if it's material in nature. The other thing, the health insurance, hopefully I'm gonna be able to give you a better report than just give you a number. I'm working with the consortium to get us. What I've been giving you in the past is actual claims that we paid. I'm gonna try to get you a report that gives you the incurred amount. So there's usually a lag of anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks from when, just say I was to go to a doctor and submit a claim, before that gets paid on an HRA account, may take 4 to 6 weeks. I'm gonna get that from the time the claim is submitted. Okay, so we'll have a better idea of where we stand.
Chuck, is your,
Yeah, there's some people who
Is your
can't
mic
hear you.
on?
So it should be.
Yeah, it is, am I just not speaking into it?
Yeah, I could hear you when you speak into it, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about
They
that.
can't
You
hear.
still can't hear?
Just. That's all.
I can hear it's on.
No, it's not. Now it's not on.
No, okay.
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah, you gotta get right up on it, I guess.
That was basically the end of, can you guys hear me back there? No?
No, not really.
Shut it up.
You can hear your speaker, it's not what you're saying.
That's the last that I had of what I needed to speak about, but
Anybody have any questions? Okay. We're receiving file, motion to receive and file, the mayor's state of the city address that I sent out, everybody. Make a motion to receive and file. This Lane.
Can we discuss a little bit?
Ms. Sullivan. Yes. Discuss the state, yeah.
Couple of questions. With the updates to the numbers, do you want to update some of the numbers in the state of the city or just let it go with what's in there?
I mean, I think it could be addressed next year at that time, and I mean, if it, we had to be in by that deadline, we don't really have all those numbers at that time. But I used the numbers that I had, so had to be in by that date, so we got that.
And there's good content in there. There's a lot of events that took place, a lot of good things in terms of the city moving forward. Don't want to focus, but a little clarification in terms of the financials. One of the things for the Finance and Audit Committee, you talked about closing the current budget gaps. Are we talking 2025? Or are there concerns about 26?
Well, there's concern about 2026, yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that.
So the current year and making sure that we're, okay,
Yeah, I mean, we know that the revenues are not, they weren't accurately stated, and we're trying to fix that, and, you know, we get any ongoing concerns and make sure that we hit those target lists as we discussed.
the Wafia loan, it's listed in there at 1.08%. And my recollection, I thought that was 1.8.
I think the 1.08 is correct. I think
1.0.
1.08 was the number that I was given from Wapita.
I'll have to look. Yeah,
That was stated at 1.8. I think you had mentioned that, Chuck, that it's 1.08 is what I confirmed. I'll correct that.
I can find out tomorrow.
But I,
1.0, that's great.
1.08, yeah, that's what I was told,
1.8 or a little different.
just over 1%, what I was told.
That's great.
So if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected.
I know I said 1.8, but you,
I'm pretty sure, I looked it up, so,
okay,
but I've been wrong before.
I hope it is, that's even better.
Right. That was why it was such a good deal.
There's a couple that are tied together. You talk about process improvements that are recommended by, it's bottom of page 2, paragraph 5, recommended by the committee. We've had some recommendations that we've been discussing internally. There are some that I brought forward a couple of meetings back. And then it also, you talk about on the bottom of page 2, basically a line by line revenue verification and expenditure control. That the recommendations that we've talked about a couple months ago, I think will go a long way toward helping with this. So my hope is that the committee can meet again and then come forward with recommendations in terms of policy procedures. So for example, one of those was seeing the revenue in real time. And that might mean access to bank statements for council. And or just as things are coming in, seeing revenue in addition to what our expenditures are. But I wanted to make sure that those were consistent with what you're looking at, because the line by line, one of the problems, we can look at what is budgeted, but we can't compare it to last year. And right now, maybe not even 2024's budget for a year to date. Like we can't look and say, all right, well, where were we in March of last year? So some of these policies and procedures will benefit us this year, but they'll also benefit going into next year, because if we're doing a good job of keeping track of the numbers this year, then next year it'll be a lot easier to track and say, hey, are we up to date? Is this consistent? Are we off task?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of the whole, of doing it that way, and then also putting together the checks and balances and giving the directives. Like, I mean, Ms. Silman had an idea, which is a great thought, to sit with the department heads and give them directives this year. Because, you know, we're a quarter of the way through the year, and we know we have some revenues that we have to make up that aren't accurate in the budget, or what we gotta address.
But we also know we can't make it all up in 1 year.
All right, so we gotta really be progressive in doing that. It's gonna take more than one thought, it's gonna take more than one meeting, and that's why we're hoping that the finance committee will meet every other week to keep up current and do that, and if they meet the Tuesdays, and if there's direction that we can give the department heads before the department head meeting, which is this is that Wednesday. So if the finance committee can block every Tuesday at the same time, or 5 o'clock, I think, every other, then council meeting and then another finance, council meeting, another finance, we can progress in a very positive manner.
Well, we have some late breaking news. Tuesdays aren't gonna work, but Thursdays will. For the whole committee to meet.
Certain committee members can't meet on.
Oh, okay, but I know Chuck had a conflict on Thursdays, so that was the problem with Thursdays was the issue.
You have,
I think it's imperative,
it is.
Oh, it is imperative.
right? I think Thursdays were a problem with him.
Everything.
We met early on.
We'll figure it out.
You weren't
Yeah.
part of that, so I think consistently meeting, I guess, is the point you guys work out what date works.
We'll
But
figure it out.
every other week, if it's off council week, or it can be the same week, it doesn't matter. But it'd be
Yeah.
nice to get the council, keep up to date and keep working towards that, keep making it better, but that was the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll make it work.
that is the goal, and we want to do that as quickly as possible.
Because we need to work together to make this clean up, and I think it's important that Chuck is more important, that Chuck's there than everybody else.
Yeah, that's a good
He's
point.
gotta get us where everybody's at, where he's at, and getting things up to date. If things aren't up to date, it's garbage in, garbage out, and that's been the past practice, and we need to stop doing that past practice.
Right.
We'll make it work.
Anything else to have, Brian?
That's good for now.
Okay. Anybody else? So I have a motion second, all in favor to receive and file,
Aye.
opposed? Good. Mayor's report. Gotta make this quick, I'm sure he's gonna be going here. Attended the chairman's roundtable, and that's the precipice, and that's all the chief elected officials in the county meet, and we talked with NICEAG, and National Grid was there. We had a good conversation about the utilities and the increased utility rates, which is intolerable for most people on fixed incomes and otherwise. And it really hit everybody. I think we had a big one at wastewater plant. It was, last in 2024, I was looking, it was like 2 cents a kilowatt, and it was 26 cents a kilowatt. That's a lot. That was a big hit. It's like a $58,000 bill. We can't have that. That's why we need to generate. So it's really, if you're looking at what's lagging in the first quarter, I think you'll see the utilities. So hopefully that's got to do it. So I've worked with some people to try to create a co-op so that not-for-profits and businesses can buy in at a better rate. And so we're working towards come up with some solutions for that. And then this resolution that we have later on is to talk about that, to try to help get attention to that. We worked on a comprehensive plan, checked in with them to get the final steps towards that. Met with the board of realtors and talked about all the ongoing issues and all the ongoing things with the realtors and closings and our new codes and what that means to them. Then the trash committee had their meeting, they need to continue on. The farmers market with them, they're starting in a couple weeks here on May 9th, they're gonna start opening up their events for Saturdays and Tuesdays again. They're excited about that. Attended a ribbon cutting for reuse. They opened a new facility over by Contentos. They're excited about that, and it's going well. I met with Chris Merkley about the Downtown Summers music series, so that's gonna return in July for those 4 weeks in July. We're excited to have that and bigger and better, so we're excited for that. Micro steering committee meetings coming up tomorrow. Police Academy graduation tomorrow. How many candidates? 6. So we're going to graduation tomorrow night for 6 candidates. Coffee with a Cop is tomorrow as well from 9 to 11 in Broome. First landscape and design meeting is the 15th, if the committee's approved. Homer John Hall is open house. YWCA Healthy Kids is 10 to 1 at the YMCA. And then the Mega Fest is the 18th and 19th, which is a bus this year that you can take down the Centro to help you with parking and certainly combine all that. The big event for SUNY Portland is the 19th. Met with them yesterday with the student SGA, and they have 69 sites with over 300 students signed up to do it. So they said they would take on some more sites if anybody has any other ideas or sites. Also in that meeting, we figured that there's 800 families coming in this weekend for an open house, so that we anticipate over 2,000 visitors. That's gonna be busy in front of your house, Miss Lane.
Thank you.
And we also got recognition national recognition for the pep rally for the Cortica. So that's a town gown event that we started downtown, and that got national recognition, which is kind of great and nice to do that. And then we do have a meeting with SUNY Portland. This Amanda actually brought that up to one of those items of discussion we do have with Dr. Bitterbaum, is that where that is and where that is done, and is working with the SGA as well to try to work out some avenues there. Lawn pickup started this week, so they've been out. We've gotten some nice compliments on that. And the yard waste is open back up at the top as well. But so once a month, they'll be going through and picking that up, so that'll help people with keeping the yards clean and doing that. I think I covered everything I needed to cover, so with that, we'll go to Mr. Tobin.
Thank you. I had a resident call. They were concerned about their water bill. It was a little bit significantly higher, and sometimes it happens. We had a good conversation about it. But I wanted to let people know, if you're in the first ward, any of the wards, if you have issues or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. People sometimes reach out from different wards regardless. I did have a call from somebody over in Tom Michael's ward concerned about the smell from the wastewater treatment plant. And I do appreciate DPW reopening the South Franklin Street yard waste collection site. There's some inconveniences, but we need people to make sure they're only dropping off what is supposed to be dropped off. Sometimes there's all sorts of a manner of things, and that just makes their job a little bit tougher. And at some point, I'd like to follow up, Mayor, with what plans might be going on in terms of Parker School. And also a resident on Wheeler Avenue who had talked to us about parking when school lets out at Smith School, followed up with me, and I'd like to be able to follow up with them at some point. Katie.
So
Thanks to the weather, it's been mostly quiet in the second ward. As the weather gets warmer, we won't have that benefit. To some of us, it's a benefit. We understand when our neighbors need to cut loose because they've been cold or indoors all winter, and it's time to celebrate the spring. But we do hope that when the big weekends roll around, that there are more police on duty to hold them in check. I had an email exchange with the head of the Public Works, Mike Weiss, and he responded favorably to complaints I'd received about the Franklin Street drop-off being closed last weekend. The issue is people are dropping all kinds of things like rocks that destroy the chipper. My husband was dropping off our yard waste and he saw a dead deer in there. And if people are doing stuff like that, the facility's gonna be closed until we can get somebody who's watching it. And you can imagine what a waste of time that could be, time and your tax dollars. We don't wanna have to pay somebody to babysit the yard waste site. That's just ridiculous. So please, lean on people to do the right thing. I guess that's it for me. Thanks.
thank you. Ms. Cannell.
Okay, so third ward, I just continue to get complaints about the status of the streets in the third ward, that they're just a mess. And that's an ongoing concern. But other than that, good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ms. Lane.
I'd like to thank the firefighters for saving Mr. Casterline. He does, I have emailed with Mr. Casterline in the past, so I know exactly where he lives, and I want to thank you for doing that. Other than that, quiet in the fourth.
Ms. Beckle.
pretty quiet in Seventh Ward, other than comment on Katie. And also, if you're down in DPW and you see something that looks suspicious, call the police department, because it's gonna ruin it for everybody.
Yeah,
And, you know, we all go down there, and we all use it, and I've seen everything, like you mentioned, Brian, whatever. It's not a dump.
right.
It's for the taxpayers and the local residents only, so if you really see something that doesn't fit, make a phone call, please. We won't have it.
Okay, thank you. Got a motion to approve the minutes? Beckwith, Ms. Sullivan, any questions? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. Resolution agenda item number one, appoint members to the landscape and design committee.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council hereby appoints Jim Maloney and Matt Brubaker as advisory members to the Landscape and Design Commission. And be it further resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council hereby appoints the individuals listed in the table below to the Landscape and Design Commission for the terms indicated therein. Dana Merker for a term expiring December 31st, 2008. All terms expire December 31st. Kim Roman expiring 2028. Megan Swing expiring 2028. Larry Kohano expiring 2027. And Diane Batsing expiring 2026.
Motion for approval. Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Tobin, any questions? Move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
I,
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Agenda item number two, calling on Governor Hochul to declare on energy state of emergency related to escalating energy costs.
Resolved that the city of Cortland urges the governor to declare an energy state of emergency to protect city residents and all New York State ratepayers from extreme and unsustainable price spikes, promote stabilization of the power grid, and to promote affordable energy. And be it further resolved that the city clerk will forward certified copies of this resolution to Governor Hochul, New York State Senator Leah Webb, New York State Assembly Member Anna Kelly, and any other party deemed necessary and proper.
I'll move it.
Second.
Now, Mr. Beckwith, questions? Again, as we stated before, we need to draw attention to this and not just blame the utilities, they can help, so. Can you move it, please?
Councilmember Tobin.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
I,
Councilmember Pinello. Councilmember Lane. Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Agenda item number three, designate 125-127 Elm Street as requiring an operating permit from the city code enforcement.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council hereby declares the structure located at 125-127 Elm Street as posing a potential risk pursuant to section 100-10A of the city code as adopted by local law 12 of 2023. Be it further resolved that the owner and or operator of the property shall be required to obtain and maintain an operating permit through the city of Cortland Code Enforcement Division, and that the property shall be subject to periodic inspection for compliance with the New York State Fire Code, Property Maintenance Code, and applicable local ordinances.
Okay, motion. Ms. Simon. Beckwith. Any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
I,
Councilmember Pinello. Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Agenda item number four, designate City of Portland Fair Housing Officer.
Resolved that the city of Cortland Common Council hereby designates the city of Cortland Director of Administration and Finance as its housing officer, fair housing officer. And be it further resolved that any individual who desires to file a fair housing complaint complaint alleging discrimination should contact the city of Cortland Finance Department.
Ms. Beckwith.
I'll second it.
Okay, Ms. Pinello, thank you. Any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin.
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman.
I,
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Agenda item number five, authorize humane law enforcement agreement with the Portland County SPCA.
Resolved that the city of Portland County Council hereby authorizes Mayor Steve to execute an agreement with the Portland County SPCA for the purposes stated above in consideration of a sum not to exceed $25,000 for a period ending December 31st, 2026, to be charged to account A 3510-541500 contractual professional services.
All right, get a motion.
So,
Ms. Lane, Mr. Beckwith, just want to clarify, everybody recognize that, in the support document, the document has already been signed, because we had thought that it would already been approved by this board prior to, but it was for last year, we did it at the end of last year. For retroactively last year, we didn't do it for this year, so once we found that, we figured to bring it to this board. That's why it was signed, and it was attached as such. Any questions?
Yeah, can I get clarification? So the SPCA then would take care of basically stray dogs, or if there is a dog that's a problem, but we're still contracting with another entity, correct?
That's correct. Chief, you want to explain it? I mean, basically, they do our, state. Go ahead.
They're gonna help us with the enforcement of the laws, complex investigations where there's animal cruelty or abuse, or maybe a vicious dog. We do contract with Country Acres just to do the housing of the dog, because the SPCA doesn't have that capacity right now.
Anybody know offhand, what are we paying with Country Acres?
Or not sure that number.
it was,
I mean, it varies every month.
yeah,
And over the last couple of years, we've gone around about a little bit. At one point, were we doing more in-house in terms of city PD?
Yeah.
And is there still an expectation for city PD in terms of this?
Yes, we're doing 90% of the investigations, just that when we need assistance, the SPCA steps in and helps us.
Okay, and then if there is a stray or a problem dog, is that the city, or is this completely then go to the SPCA
SPCA when they're on duty, yes.
when they're on duty?
Yep, business hours, basically.
So the police requested that as time when they're really busy or they can't handle it, or they can't do that, they requested additional help services for them.
Okay.
But it's an as needed basis, and I don't think last year you used very much. I don't remember what that number was.
5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And we started with them last year in the middle of the year, in July.
If, at some point, more out of curiosity, what the contract is with Country Acres, and then is there any additional cost the city is paying in terms of the police department regarding animal control?
Normal,
Just whomever is on shift?
salaries of officers.
Yeah.
We have,
Nothing above their normal salaries.
since you were gone, Brian, we put in kennels at the armory, so we have a way to hold over. If somebody loses their dog at nighttime, we think they're gonna reclaim it, we collect the dogs, the fleet PD does. Rather than having somebody come in and grab them, PD grabs them, and instead of taking them to Country Acres, which is far outside the city limits, we hold them in the kennel till somebody calls, and then if they don't call, then the next day, we send them to the kennel.
The SPCA does that transport for us.
Okay.
Very good, thank you.
So it's still a lot less than it was 5 years ago. Everybody else? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin.
You wanna wait a minute, or?
Oh, I thought he
That's what you meant to.
I thought he departed, the meeting.
No, it's phone to the left.
Or we can,
We can vote, tell up to him, go, let's vote, tell him. If we'll not hold that.
Councilmember Tobin,
aye.
Councilmember Sittleman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Abstain.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith will, record when he returns.
Okay, agenda item number 6, authorize agreement with Shred Smart USA for on-call document shredding service.
Resolved that the city of Cortland County Council does hereby authorize the city to enter into a 3-year agreement with Shred Smart USA for on-call shredding services with associated costs of $325 for installation and $85 per service to be charged to account A 16705411100 contractual utilities.
Can I get a motion?
Can we move or do we need Troy to vote first?
I,
I'll move.
And the other, which you know you're talking about, I didn't want to out from the back.
Thank you.
Would you like to be reported in favor or not in favor on the SPCA contract approval? Mr. Beckwith is recorded as an aye.
Okay, motion for agenda item number 6.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tobin, any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Somebody had mentioned before the meeting, they want to lump 7, 8, 9 together. Is that still interest? Yeah. On all 3 of those events?
Yeah, yeah.
Could I get a motion to combine 7, 8, 9 to one resolution? Ms. Lane, all those in favor of combining?
Aye.
Okay, so now on the motion of 6, 7, and 8. So, I'm sorry, 7 is approved special permits for the YWC walk. The walk and ball roll, which is gonna be interesting. And approval events permit for the Pride Festival in the Courthouse Park on July 11th, 2026. And approve a special events permit for the Dairy Parade on June 2nd. So with those 3 combined, can I get a motion?
I'll move it.
No,
I'll second.
Ms. Lane? Any questions on those events? They're all great events. I think, we can get to all of them. I think, should we get to all of them? The ball roll, that sounds interesting.
I'm not ranking the dairy parade this year either, unless I get a front seat.
Okay.
Chief,
I just sit in the back.
I wasn't good after my hip.
But yeah, I was, when I first saw the YWCA thing, I was envisioning people in the big plastic balls. This is gonna end well, that's changed different, so pretty excited about that. All right, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello.
Aye.
Councilmember Lane.
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Agenda item number 10, accept and recognize donations to the fire department.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council, on behalf of Mayor Steve and the fire department, expresses its gratitude for the generosity of the donors below. And be it further resolved that the common council hereby accepts the donations listed below and appropriates them to account TE 2044 fire department defibrillator donations for the purchase of replacement defibrillator equipment. I won't read the amounts, but I'll read the donors. Friendship House, Les Wayman, Eugene and Jacqueline Egan, Lilibeth Maston, Susan and Jeffrey Dovey, Michael and Lonnie Seagrith, and Jean Ellsworth.
Motion. Mr. Beckwith, Mr. Tobin. Exciting to see the people giving the donations. I think, hard to beat Cheyenne at the end, but, I mean, with our deputy chief, cute what he did at the end, but, we really appreciate it. And it's great for the fire department to be able to have the resources to be able to do those replacements. Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello, Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Agenda item number 11, accept and recognize donations to the youth bureau.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council, on behalf of Mayor Steve and the Youth Bureau, expresses its gratitude for the generosity of the donors below. Be it further resolved that the council hereby accepts the donations listed below and appropriates them to the accounts and for the purposes designated. A $500 donation from Beginnings Federal Credit Union to go to Porch Fest. And 2 donations in memory of James Lyon, $500 from Robert Porteous and $100 from John Shirley.
Much appreciated.
Yes, I appreciate it. Mr. Beckwith, you got a second, Mr. Chauvin. Any questions? Okay, move it, please.
Councilmember Tobin,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman, Councilmember Pinello, Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye.
Agenda item number 12, accept and recognize donations to the police department.
Resolved that the city of Portland Common Council, on behalf of Mayor Steve and the police department expresses its gratitude for the generosity of the donors below. Be it further resolved that the council hereby accepts the donations and appropriates them to account TEO 2101, the K-9 Donations Trust for the purchase of a replacement K-9. I won't read all of the amounts, but I'll read the donors. Very generous donations from Portland County DAV, David and Christine McNeil, Diane and Robert Ferry, Regina DeMunn, Karen Leahy, Richard Woodrome, Walter and Carolyn Belensoff, Michael Whitlock, Beverly Ellison, Richard and Louise Kearney, Malin Perkins, Michael Douglas, Tom Michaels, Charlotte Carter, Elizabeth Imbescati. I apologize for my pronunciation there. Rick Van Donsel, Stephen and Janet Herrick, Sherry and Peter Corinzo, Gators Tavern, and Tim Francis.
I could get a motion to receive. Mr. Cohen, Ms. Sullivan. Again, it's great. I challenged Deputy Cute, and he pulled it off and then some. So it was a big expensive, and where the training is expensive, so we're able to help with that, so that's always great to give it a have. So, with that, move it.
Councilmember Tolan,
Aye.
Councilmember Silliman,
Aye.
Councilmember Pinello,
Aye.
Councilmember Lane,
Aye.
Councilmember Beckwith.
Aye. Okay, well, our council has requested that we go into an executive session regarding contract negotiations. So I have a motion to move to go to executive session with Silverman. There will be no action taken after this, so perhaps anybody that wants to have.
Me.
Okay, right. Yeah, it's just an update. I think he had the contract negotiations. Silverman, we got a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Another second. All in favor to go in?
Aye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
What's that? You can leave it.
We're gonna ask. What do you think?
Thank you.
Made the motion to come out. And Ms. Lane second. And then we adjourn the meeting. We don't need a vote to do that.
We just need a motion.